Do you ever feel like the stress and noise of daily life just won't stop? Have you noticed how hard it is to stay calm when everything around you is moving so fast? We all face moments where negativity tries to take over our thoughts. But what if there was a way to find peace, even in the middle of all this chaos? Imagine waking up each day feeling calm and positive, no matter what happens around you. Here's a simple example. Think about the last time you were stuck in traffic. Everyone around you seemed frustrated and impatient, but you took a deep breath, turned on some peaceful music, and stayed calm. While others honked and complained, you stayed focused and kept your peace. It wasn't easy, but you did it, right? Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we explore how to keep that peace and positivity in every part of life. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% of people subscribe. Isn't that surprising? So, if you're finding value in what we're talking about, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us keep bringing you valuable insights, and we'd love to have you with us on this journey. Now, let's dive into what Buddhism teaches us about staying calm and positive in life. It all starts with understanding your own mind. In the teachings of the Buddha, the mind is like a mirror. It reflects whatever we focus on. If we fill it with stress and negativity, that's what we experience. But if we fill it with peace and positivity, the world around us begins to change, too. Buddhism encourages us to practice mindfulness, which is simply the art of paying attention to the present moment. When we focus on the now, instead of worrying about the past or future, we can start to experience real calmness. It's about letting go of what we can't control and being aware of our thoughts without being controlled by them. In the next sections, we'll explore more practical ways to bring this calmness into your daily life. From simple breathing techniques to understanding the power of kindness, you'll learn how to stay grounded even when things get tough. So, stay with us. There's so much more to discover. Understanding the mind, the root of inner peace. Dear one, sit comfortably and listen with care. Today, we explore something deep, something that may seem simple but is at the core of everything, the mind. In this moment, we will unlock the mysteries of your mind, the root of both your peace and your suffering. The mind is like a garden, isn't it? If you plant seeds of negativity, of fear, of anger, what will grow? Weeds that choke the beauty out of your life. But if you plant seeds of calmness, kindness, and understanding, the mind becomes a place of peace. This is what Buddhism teaches us about the mind. It's not about changing the outside world, but about cultivating what is within. Let me tell you, most people are unaware of their own mind's power. They let it run wild like an untamed animal. They react to everything. When someone is angry with them, they become angry. When things don't go their way, frustration and stress take over. But what if you could tame this mind? What if, instead of reacting, you could observe? That is the secret to inner peace. The Buddha taught that everything begins with the mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. If your mind is filled with turmoil, your world will feel chaotic. But if you cultivate a calm and balanced mind, you will find peace, no matter what storms surround you. The key is understanding that you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are like clouds, they come and go. You don't need to chase after them or hold on to them. You can simply observe and let them pass. Now, let's dive deeper into how the mind works. You see, the mind has layers. On the surface are all the daily thoughts, the distractions, the worries. These are like ripples on water. They can disturb your peace, but they are not the source of your true self. Beneath these ripples is something still and deep, your true nature. When you learn to quiet the surface, you can connect with this deeper part of yourself. That is where real calmness comes from. But how do we quiet the mind, you may ask? It is through practice. You cannot control the waves, but you can learn to ride them. One way to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is a simple but powerful practice. It is the art of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It is noticing your breath, your thoughts, and your emotions without becoming attached to them. Imagine this. You are sitting by a river, watching the water flow. You don't try to stop the river or push it in a different direction. You simply observe. This is what mindfulness is. You observe your thoughts like you would observe the river. Let them flow. Don't get carried away by them. When you practice this, you begin to notice that your thoughts lose their power over you. They no longer control how you feel. Buddhism also teaches that suffering comes from attachment to our thoughts, our desires, our expectations. We hold on too tightly to what we think should be, and when things don't go that way, we suffer. But when we release this attachment, when we allow things to be as they are, peace naturally arises. It's like unclenching your fist after holding it tight for so long. The relief is immediate. Now, let me share a simple technique with you. The next time you feel your mind racing, filled with worry or stress, pause, take a deep breath in and out. Focus only on your breath. Feel the air as it enters and leaves your body. This anchors you to the present moment. And in that moment, notice your thoughts. Don't judge them. Don't try to push them away. Just observe. You'll find that, like clouds, they will pass. The mind is always searching for something. Pleasure, validation, distractions. It jumps from one thing to another, never satisfied for long. This is why most people feel restless. They are constantly chasing after things. But the more they chase, the more elusive peace becomes. To find calmness, we must stop chasing. We must learn to be content with what is right in front of us. This moment is enough. You are enough. Think of a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, the water remains cloudy. But if you let it sit, the mud settles, and the water becomes clear. The same is true for your mind. When you constantly stir it with thoughts and worries, it remains cloudy. But if you allow it to settle, clarity and peace naturally arise. There is a famous Buddhist saying, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." How often do we look outside of ourselves for peace? We think, if only I had this, or if only that would happen, I would be happy. But these are illusions. True peace can only be found by looking within and understanding your mind. As you move forward, remember this. Calmness is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice, a way of being. You may not always succeed, and that's okay. What matters is that you return to the practice again and again. Each time you pause, each time you breathe and observe your thoughts, you are strengthening your ability to stay calm. Life will continue to throw challenges your way. The world will not stop spinning. But you, dear one, can learn to stand still in the middle of it all. You can learn to observe without reacting. You can find peace in the present moment, no matter what is happening around you. So, begin now. Take a breath and observe. The mind is a powerful tool, but you are the one who holds it. And with practice, you can shape it into a source of endless peace and positivity. Continue with me on this journey, for there is much more to discover. Calmness and positivity are not distant dreams. They are within your reach, waiting to be uncovered. All it takes is patience, understanding, and the willingness to look within. You are already on the path. Keep walking, and peace will follow you. Dealing with challenges, a path to equanimity. Let us take a deep breath together, shall we? As you breathe in, notice the air filling your lungs. And as you breathe out, let go of all the tension you may be carrying. Feel yourself becoming present. This is the first step toward finding calmness, even when life presents you with challenges. Challenges, my dear friend, are not to be feared or avoided. They are part of life, as natural as the changing seasons. Just as the tree bends when the wind blows but does not break, we, too, can learn to bend without breaking. The storms of life, whether they are small frustrations or big struggles, will come. But if we remain flexible, if we approach these storms with calmness, we can endure them without losing our peace of mind. Now, you may wonder, how can I remain calm when everything feels so difficult? The answer lies in your perspective. When you see a challenge, instead of thinking of it as a problem, try to view it as an opportunity for growth. Imagine that life is giving you a chance to practice patience, resilience, and strength. Each challenge is a lesson waiting to be learned. Think of a lotus flower. It grows in muddy water, surrounded by dirt, yet it blossoms beautifully. The mud is not an obstacle for the lotus, it is part of what helps it grow. In the same way, the difficulties in your life are not there to bring you down. They are there to help you rise, to teach you something valuable. So, when challenges come, remember the lotus and see how you, too, can bloom even in the mud. In Buddhism, we often talk about equanimity. This is the quality of staying balanced and calm no matter what happens. It's about not letting the highs make you overly excited or the lows drag you down. When you practice equanimity, you are like a mountain. Whether the sun shines brightly or the storm rages, the mountain remains strong, grounded, and unmoved. This doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. It simply means you don't let those emotions control you. One way to cultivate equanimity is through acceptance. We cannot control everything in life, and the more we try to resist what is happening, the more we suffer. But when we accept things as they are, without judgment, without trying to change them, we begin to find peace. This does not mean giving up or being passive. It means understanding that life is full of ups and downs, and that's okay. You are strong enough to handle whatever comes your way. Another important practice is letting go of expectations. Often, we become upset because things don't go the way we want them to. We have a picture in our mind of how life should be, and when reality doesn't match that picture, we feel disappointed, frustrated, or even angry. But expectations are just illusions. Life does not follow our plans. When we release our expectations, we open ourselves up to experience life as it is, in its fullness, without being weighed down by disappointment. I know that in difficult moments, it's hard to let go of expectations. You might think, I didn't want this challenge. This isn't fair. And that's a normal reaction. But I encourage you to shift your thinking just a little. Instead of focusing on how unfair or difficult something is, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? This small change in mindset can make a big difference in how you experience life's challenges. Now, let's talk about patience. Patience is one of the greatest virtues when it comes to dealing with challenges. When we rush through life, trying to force things to go our way, we often end up more stressed and frustrated. But when we approach life with patience, we allow things to unfold naturally at their own pace. We trust that, in time, everything will fall into place. There's a saying in Buddhism, the tree that is slow to grow bears the best fruit. Sometimes, the most worthwhile things take time. When you face challenges, remember this. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, and know that growth often happens slowly, quietly, over time. Breathing deeply can help remind you of this patience. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by a challenge, take a few deep breaths. As you inhale, think of yourself gathering strength. As you exhale, release your worries. This simple practice can help calm your mind and give you the clarity you need to face any difficulty. It's also important to be kind to yourself during challenging times. We are often our own harshest critics, blaming ourselves when things go wrong or when we feel we're not handling a situation as well as we should. But remember, you are human. You are allowed to struggle, to feel frustrated, to have moments of doubt. What's important is that you don't give up on yourself. Think of yourself as you would a dear friend. If your friend was going through a hard time, you wouldn't criticize them or tell them they're not good enough. You would offer them comfort, kindness, and support. You deserve that same kindness from yourself. When you make a mistake or face a setback, treat yourself with compassion. Speak to yourself with gentle words, and remind yourself that you are doing your best. Lastly, let us not forget the power of gratitude, even in the midst of challenges. It may seem strange to think about being grateful when life feels difficult, but gratitude can shift your entire perspective. When you focus on what is still good in your life, even when things are tough, you remind yourself that there is always light, even in the darkest moments. Take a moment to think about something you are grateful for right now. It could be something small, like the warmth of your cup of tea, or something bigger, like the support of a loved one. Whatever it is, hold that feeling of gratitude in your heart. Let it be a source of strength for you as you face your challenges. In the end, challenges are not meant to defeat us. They are meant to shape us, to help us grow stronger and wiser. By approaching them with a calm mind, an open heart, and a willingness to learn, you can transform any difficulty into an opportunity for growth. Life will continue to present you with storms, but with equanimity, patience, and compassion, you will weather them all. You will remain like the mountain, strong, grounded, and unmoved. Let us continue walking this path together, one step at a time, with calmness in our hearts and positivity in our minds. There is always peace to be found, even in the midst of life's greatest challenges. Letting go of negative thoughts. Dear one, let us talk about the mind. The mind, you see is like a vast sky, open, limitless, and pure. But often, clouds of negative thoughts pass through this sky, making us forget the peace that lies beyond. These thoughts of anger, frustration, fear, cling to us, don't they? They seem so strong at times, so overwhelming. But are they really? Or are they just like clouds, passing by, without any true power unless we hold on to them? Let me tell you a little story. Imagine you are carrying a heavy bag. It's filled with rocks, each rock representing a worry, a fear, or a negative thought. You carry this bag everywhere you go. It weighs you down, makes your steps slower, and your body tired. Now, what if I told you that you don't need to carry it? What if, at any moment, you could simply set it down and feel light again? Would you do it? This is the nature of negative thoughts. We carry them, we hold on to them tightly, believing they are part of who we are. But they are not. They are just like that bag of rocks. Heavy, yes, but not necessary. The first step in letting go of negative thoughts is recognizing that you are the one holding them. You have the power to release them. In Buddhism, we often speak of non-attachment. This doesn't mean ignoring your thoughts or pretending they don't exist. It means observing them without grabbing onto them. Imagine sitting by a river, watching the water flow. Thoughts are like leaves floating on the surface. Some leaves are bright and happy, while others are dark and heavy. Your job is not to dive in and grab the leaves, but to watch them float by. They come, and they go. None of them stay forever. When a negative thought arises, do not judge it. Don't push it away, and don't pull it closer. Just notice it. Here is anger. Here is fear. When you name the thought, you create space between you and the thought. This space is your power. In that space, you can decide not to engage with the thought. You can let it float away, just like a leaf on the river. But I know, this is easier said than done. Sometimes, negative thoughts seem so loud, so convincing. They say, you are not good enough, you should have done better, life is unfair. And when they shout these things, it feels as if we must listen. But the truth is, these thoughts are not you. They are just passing visitors. The real you, the calm and peaceful you, is always there, beneath the noise. One of the simplest tools to help you let go of negative thoughts is your breath. When you notice a negative thought, take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, imagine the thought leaving with your breath. Do this as many times as you need. Each breath reminds you that you are alive, present, and capable of peace. Negative thoughts may come, but with each breath, you let them go. Another practice is to bring kindness to yourself. When we are caught in negative thoughts, we can be so hard on ourselves, can't we? We criticize, we blame, we feel guilty. But what if, instead of fighting these thoughts, you could respond with kindness? I see you, my negative thought. You are here, but I do not need to follow you. Speak gently to yourself, as you would to a friend who is suffering. Offer yourself compassion. The more kindness you show to your own mind, the easier it becomes to let go of the negative. In Buddhism, we also teach the importance of seeing the impermanence of all things. Just as seasons change, so do thoughts and emotions. No thought, no feeling lasts forever. Even the heaviest negative thought will pass if you give it time. The more you practice watching your thoughts without attachment, the more you will see their temporary nature. This realization brings great freedom. When you are in the middle of a storm of negative thoughts, remember this. Storms do not last forever. The clouds may seem dark, but behind them, the sky is always clear. Your mind, like the sky, is naturally peaceful. It is only the temporary clouds of thought that make it seem otherwise. Hold on to this truth, and the next time a storm arises, you will know that it, too, will pass. A key part of letting go is acceptance. Often, we struggle with negative thoughts because we do not want them to be there. We resist them, fight them, and in doing so, give them more power. What if instead, you could accept them, not as truths, but as simple experiences that are part of being human? Here is a negative thought, you might say. It is here, but it does not define me. When you accept the presence of negative thoughts without identifying with them, they lose their grip on you. Letting go of negativity is not about avoiding difficult situations or emotions. Life will always present challenges. The goal is to change how you relate to those challenges. When you let go of negative thoughts, you make space for new possibilities, for peace, for positivity. This is the essence of staying calm in life. It's not about changing the outside world, but about changing how you respond to it. So, my dear one, practice watching your thoughts like clouds in the sky. Breathe deeply and let them pass. Be kind to yourself when they come, and remember, they do not define you. You are the sky, not the clouds. You are the peace beneath the storm. In this practice, you will find calmness and positivity, no matter what life brings. This is the path to letting go of negative thoughts, a path that leads to a mind that is as light as a feather, free from the heavy burdens we so often carry. Trust in this process, and over time, you will notice the shift. The clouds of negativity will still come, but they will no longer darken your world. You will remain the calm, steady sky, filled with peace. The role of mindfulness in staying calm. Welcome, my friend, to this moment. Let us explore the deep wisdom of mindfulness together. Mindfulness is a simple word, but its practice is a doorway to lasting calmness and peace. In Buddhism, mindfulness means being fully present, aware of where you are and what you're doing, without being overwhelmed by what's going on around you. Sounds easy, doesn't it? But in reality, it requires dedication and understanding. Let's begin by imagining the mind as a quiet pond. When you're not mindful, it's like stones being thrown into the water, creating ripples and disturbing the stillness. These stones represent our worries, stresses, and distractions. But with mindfulness, you stop throwing those stones. You allow the water to become still again, reflecting the world clearly and calmly. One of the first lessons of mindfulness is recognizing that life is full of moments, and each moment deserves your full attention. When you eat, do you really taste your food? Or is your mind busy thinking about other things? When you walk, are you feeling each step? Or are you rushing ahead to your next task? Being mindful means truly being present in whatever you're doing, no matter how simple or small. A simple exercise I like to share is mindful breathing. This practice can be done anywhere, at any time. Take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it for a moment, and then gently release it through your mouth. As you breathe, focus only on the feeling of the air entering and leaving your body. Notice how your chest rises and falls, how the air feels as it flows in and out. When your mind starts to wander, and it will, gently bring it back to your breath. This is a practice that can instantly bring you back to the present moment, grounding you in calmness. Now, let's talk about why mindfulness is so important for staying calm. When we let our minds wander, we often get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. This creates stress, anxiety, and a sense of overwhelm. But mindfulness brings us back to the here and now. The present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone, and the future hasn't arrived yet. By staying present, we can reduce the noise in our minds and experience peace, even in difficult situations. Here's an example from daily life. Think of a time when you were stuck in a stressful situation, maybe at work or dealing with a difficult conversation. Your mind might have raced ahead, imagining all the things that could go wrong or replaying past mistakes. But what if, in that moment, you could pause, take a deep breath, and simply focus on the present? By grounding yourself in mindfulness, you stop the spiral of negative thoughts and allow calmness to return. Mindfulness is also about accepting things as they are. So much of our stress comes from wanting things to be different. We resist what is happening right now, wishing for a better moment or a different outcome. But in Buddhism, we learn that suffering comes from this resistance. By accepting the present moment, just as it is, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. This doesn't mean we give up on making things better, but it does mean that we stop fighting against reality. When we accept the present, we find peace. Think of mindfulness as a skill, like learning to play a musical instrument. The more you practice, the better you become. In the beginning, it might feel difficult. Your mind will wander, and you may get frustrated. But with time, mindfulness becomes more natural. You'll start to notice moments of peace and clarity that you didn't experience before. Another important aspect of mindfulness is non-judgment. Often, we are our own worst critics. We judge ourselves for our thoughts, our actions, even our emotions. But mindfulness teaches us to observe without judgment. If a negative thought arises, don't scold yourself for it. Simply notice it, like a cloud passing through the sky, and let it go. This practice of non-judgment helps to create space between you and your thoughts, allowing you to respond to situations calmly rather than reacting impulsively. Let's try another exercise. Close your eyes and imagine that you are sitting by a river. The water flows gently, and leaves float by on the surface. Now, imagine that each thought you have is like a leaf on the river. As a thought comes up, whether it's a worry, a memory, or even a to-do list, place it on a leaf and watch it float away. Don't chase the leaf down the river. Just let it go. This simple visualization helps train your mind to release thoughts without getting attached to them. Mindfulness is not just about meditation or breathing exercises. It's a way of living. You can bring mindfulness into every part of your day. When you wake up in the morning, take a moment to feel the warmth of your bed, to listen to the sounds around you. As you eat breakfast, really taste each bite. When you walk outside, feel the ground beneath your feet. These small acts of mindfulness help to anchor you in the present, bringing a sense of calm to your everyday life. Buddhism teaches us that our thoughts shape our reality. If we fill our minds with stress, negativity, and worry, that's what we will experience. But if we practice mindfulness, we can create a mental environment of peace and positivity. Over time, this practice helps us respond to life's challenges with calmness rather than panic. Of course, mindfulness doesn't mean you'll never feel stressed or upset. Life is full of ups and downs, and emotions are a natural part of being human. But mindfulness gives you the tools to handle those emotions with grace. Instead of being swept away by anger, frustration, or anxiety, you can acknowledge those feelings, accept them, and then let them go. This ability to observe without attachment is one of the greatest gifts of mindfulness. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like we're always rushing from one thing to the next. But mindfulness reminds us to slow down, to take a breath, and to simply be. This practice doesn't require any special equipment or hours of meditation. It just requires you to pay attention. And in paying attention, you'll find that calmness and positivity are always within your reach. As you continue on this journey, remember that mindfulness is a practice. Some days, it will feel easy, and other days, it will be challenging. But every time you bring your focus back to the present moment, you are strengthening your ability to stay calm and centered. Keep practicing, my friend, and you will discover a deep well of peace within you, no matter what life throws your way. Cultivating compassion for a positive life. Compassion. Such a simple word, but its power is beyond measure. You see, compassion is not just about feeling sorry for someone, nor is it about pity. Compassion is much deeper. It is the ability to connect with others in a way that brings peace to both them and yourself. When we cultivate compassion, we unlock a great source of positivity in life. It's like planting seeds that grow into a beautiful, calming garden. Let us sit together for a while and explore how compassion brings us closer to calmness and positivity. Compassion begins with understanding. Many people mistake compassion for weakness, but in truth, it is a strength that requires courage. To be compassionate, you must first see others not as separate from yourself, but as part of the same human experience. Whether someone is suffering, angry, or lost, when we look closely, we can see that they are experiencing life's difficulties just as we do. By recognizing this shared experience, you open the door to kindness. Kindness, in turn, allows your heart to be at peace. When you act from a place of compassion, negativity begins to fade away. Imagine a day where everything seems to be going wrong. Maybe someone says something hurtful to you, or perhaps you are faced with challenges at work. Your first instinct might be to react in anger or frustration, but what if, instead, you paused and considered the other person's perspective? What if you allowed compassion to guide your response? Often, when we respond with understanding rather than judgment, we create space for peace, both for ourselves and for others. In Buddhism, compassion is called karuna. It's more than just a feeling. It's an action. When we act with compassion, we not only ease the suffering of others, but we also ease our own inner turmoil. The Buddha taught that compassion is essential to achieving inner peace. Without it, we remain trapped in a cycle of negativity, reacting to the world's harshness with more harshness. But with compassion, we break that cycle. We soften the edges of life's challenges, transforming them into opportunities for growth and understanding. Let me share with you a story, simple but meaningful. There was once a young monk who struggled with his temper. He found it hard to stay calm when others were rude or unfair. One day, his master asked him to carry a bowl of water filled to the brim and walk through the garden without spilling a single drop. The young monk focused intensely on his task, walking slowly and carefully, making sure the water stayed in the bowl. When he reached the end of the garden, the master asked, "Were you angry or distracted while you walked?" The young monk replied, "No, master. I was focused only on the water." The master smiled and said, "That is how you should live your life. When you are filled with compassion, your focus shifts. You no longer pay attention to anger, frustration, or distraction. Instead, you are centered on the kindness you bring to others. And in that focus, you find peace." Compassion is much like carrying that bowl of water. When you fill your mind with compassion, there is no room for anger or negativity to spill over. You remain focused on kindness, and that focus brings calmness to your life. But compassion isn't just about others. It begins with yourself. Many people are too hard on themselves. They hold on to guilt, regret, and self-criticism. True compassion must start within. If you cannot be kind to yourself, it is difficult to truly be kind to others. Think about it this way. If you are carrying a heavy load and someone offered to help lighten it, wouldn't you feel relieved? In the same way, when you forgive yourself for your mistakes, when you show yourself kindness, you release a heavy burden. And in that release, you create space for positivity. The Buddha often spoke of the importance of compassion for all living beings, including oneself. When you practice self-compassion, you stop punishing yourself for every mistake. Instead, you begin to see each mistake as an opportunity to learn. This shift in perspective is powerful. It allows you to face challenges without fear or frustration because you know that whatever happens, you can respond with kindness. Let us take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you were kind to yourself? Perhaps you've been pushing yourself too hard or criticizing yourself for not being perfect. It's time to let go of that harshness. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are human, just like everyone else. You, too, deserve compassion. Now, let's return to the idea of extending this compassion to others. You may find that some people in your life are difficult to be compassionate toward. Maybe they've hurt you or caused you pain, but holding on to anger toward them only harms you. By practicing compassion, you release yourself from the weight of that negativity. This doesn't mean you have to accept or condone their actions, but it does mean you can choose not to carry the burden of resentment. In Buddhism, there is a beautiful practice called metta, or loving kindness meditation. In this meditation, you focus on sending love and kindness first to yourself, then to others, and even to those you find difficult to forgive. It's a powerful way to cultivate compassion in your heart. As you practice, you will notice a lightness, a sense of peace that grows within you. This lightness is the power of compassion. It frees you from negativity and opens the door to lasting positivity. Life will always present challenges, but when you approach those challenges with compassion, they lose their power over you. You become like a tree in a storm, firm, rooted, and flexible enough to bend without breaking. Compassion gives you the strength to remain calm, even when the winds of life blow fiercely. So, as we move forward on this journey of calmness and positivity, remember this. Compassion is not something you need to seek outside of yourself. It is already within you, waiting to be cultivated. The more you nurture it, the more it grows, and the more peace and positivity it brings into your life. Like a garden, it requires attention and care, but the rewards are endless. In the next part, we will explore how compassion can be further expanded through mindfulness and daily practice. Together, these tools will help you remain calm and positive, no matter what life brings. Keep walking the path with kindness, and you will find that peace is always within reach. Embracing impermanence, finding serenity in change. Change is the only constant in life. Have you ever noticed how seasons shift, bringing new colors and temperatures? Just like the seasons, our lives are always evolving. Nothing stays the same forever. Understanding this truth can bring a deep sense of peace. Imagine a tree in autumn. Its leaves change color and eventually fall to the ground. At first, it might seem sad, but this change makes room for new growth in the spring. The tree embraces the cycle, finding beauty in each phase. Similarly, we can find serenity by accepting the changes in our own lives. In Buddhism, impermanence is known as anicca. It teaches us that everything around us is constantly changing. From the smallest moments to the biggest events, nothing remains fixed. By recognizing this, we can let go of our fears and anxieties about the future. When we cling to things staying the same, we create suffering for ourselves. Holding on to the past or fearing the future prevents us from fully experiencing the present moment. By embracing impermanence, we learn to live more freely and joyfully. Consider the flow of a river. The water is always moving, never the same from one moment to the next. The river doesn't resist its flow. It moves with it, finding its path naturally. We too can learn to move with life's changes, finding our own path with ease. Acceptance is a key part of embracing impermanence. Instead of resisting change, we acknowledge it and allow ourselves to adapt. This doesn't mean we stop caring, but rather that we understand change is a natural part of life. Letting go can be challenging, but it brings immense relief. When we let go of attachments, we free ourselves from unnecessary burdens. This freedom allows us to live more fully and authentically without being weighed down by what was or what might be. Mindfulness helps us embrace impermanence. By staying present, we become more aware of the changes happening around and within us. This awareness allows us to respond to life's shifts with calmness and clarity. Embracing impermanence also means appreciating the present moment. Knowing that each moment is fleeting makes it more precious. We learn to cherish the here and now, finding joy in each experience as it comes. Change often brings new opportunities. When we accept that things will change, we open ourselves up to growth and new beginnings. Instead of fearing the unknown, we welcome it with an open heart and mind. Relationships, like everything else, are subject to change. People grow and evolve, and sometimes paths diverge. Embracing this truth helps us navigate relationships with grace and understanding, fostering deeper connections. Health and well-being also fluctuate. There are times of strength and times of vulnerability. By accepting these changes, we can take better care of ourselves, nurturing our bodies and minds through every phase. Career and personal goals may shift over time. What once seemed important might no longer resonate. Embracing impermanence allows us to realign our ambitions with our evolving selves, ensuring that our pursuits remain meaningful. Material possessions can also be a source of attachment. While it's natural to value our belongings, recognizing their impermanent nature helps us find contentment beyond physical items. True happiness comes from within, not from what we own. Nature beautifully illustrates impermanence. Flowers bloom and wilt, mountains stand tall and erode. Rivers carve new paths. Observing these natural cycles can inspire us to accept and embrace change in our own lives. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean giving up control. Instead, it's about understanding what we can and cannot change. By focusing our energy on what we can influence, we navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and peace. Gratitude plays a vital role in accepting impermanence. Being thankful for each moment, each experience, helps us appreciate the transient beauty of life. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lose to what we gain in each change. Resilience is built through embracing impermanence. Each time we accept and adapt to change, we strengthen our ability to handle future shifts. This resilience fosters a stable and serene mind, even in turbulent times. Forgiveness is also tied to impermanence. Holding on to past grievances keeps us stuck. By letting go and forgiving, we free ourselves to move forward, embracing the continual flow of life. Impermanence encourages us to live authentically. Knowing that our time and experiences are limited inspires us to be true to ourselves, pursuing what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. Meditation helps us internalize the concept of impermanence. By quieting the mind, we can observe the natural flow of thoughts and emotions, understanding their transient nature. This practice deepens our acceptance and peace. As we embrace impermanence, we cultivate a deeper connection with the present moment. This connection brings a profound sense of serenity, allowing us to navigate life's changes with grace and ease. In embracing impermanence, we find that change is not something to fear, but a natural and beautiful part of existence. By accepting and flowing with life's constant shifts, we discover a lasting serenity that comes from within. Overcoming stress through meditation. In today's fast-paced world, stress seems to follow us everywhere. Deadlines, responsibilities, and unexpected challenges can make our minds race and our hearts pound. But what if there was a simple practice that could help you find peace amidst the chaos? Meditation offers a pathway to calm your mind and overcome stress, transforming your life in profound ways. Imagine sitting quietly in a peaceful garden. The sounds of nature surround you, the gentle rustling of leaves, the soft chirping of birds, and the distant flow of a stream. As you breathe deeply, you begin to feel your tension melt away. This is the essence of meditation, creating a sanctuary within yourself where stress cannot reach. A Zen master once said, "Meditation is not about escaping reality, but about embracing it with a clear and peaceful mind." Through meditation, you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to understand and manage your stress rather than being overwhelmed by it. When you meditate, you focus on your breath. Each inhale brings in calmness, and each exhale releases tension. This simple act of breathing anchors you in the present moment, helping you to let go of worries about the past or future. By concentrating on your breath, you create a space where stress cannot take hold. Stress often arises from our minds wandering to what could go wrong or replaying past mistakes. Meditation trains your mind to stay present, reducing the power these negative thoughts have over you. As you practice regularly, you become more resilient, able to handle life's challenges with grace and composure. There are many forms of meditation, each offering unique benefits. Mindfulness meditation, for example, encourages you to be fully aware of your current experience without judgment. This heightened awareness helps you recognize when stress is building, allowing you to address it before it becomes overwhelming. Another powerful technique is loving kindness meditation. This practice involves sending positive thoughts and well wishes to yourself and others. By cultivating compassion and empathy, you create a positive emotional state that naturally reduces stress and fosters inner peace. Even a few minutes of meditation each day can make a significant difference. Start by finding a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Consistency is key when it comes to meditation. Make it a daily habit, much like brushing your teeth. Over time, you'll notice that you're better able to stay calm and centered, even in stressful situations. Meditation becomes a tool you can rely on to maintain your inner peace. In addition to reducing stress, meditation offers numerous other benefits. It enhances your ability to concentrate, improves emotional regulation, and promotes overall mental well-being. By dedicating time each day to meditate, you invest in a healthier, happier you. Sometimes, stress feels like an unmanageable weight. Meditation helps you lift that weight, one breath at a time. It teaches you to navigate life's ups and downs with a steady mind and a peaceful heart. Through this practice, you discover that true strength lies in your ability to remain calm and positive, no matter what comes your way. The journey of meditation is deeply personal. It's about finding what works best for you and making it a part of your daily routine. Whether you prefer guided meditations, silent reflection, or meditative walking, there's a method that fits your lifestyle and needs. As you continue to meditate, you'll develop a deeper connection with yourself. You become more attuned to your thoughts and emotions, gaining insights that help you manage stress more effectively. This self-awareness is a powerful tool in maintaining your calm and positivity. Meditation also fosters a sense of gratitude. By taking time to appreciate the present moment, you begin to see the beauty in everyday life. This shift in perspective reduces stress and increases your overall sense of well-being. Incorporating meditation into your daily life doesn't require drastic changes. It can be as simple as taking a few moments each morning to sit quietly and breathe deeply. These small acts of mindfulness can accumulate, leading to significant improvements in your mental and emotional health. Remember, meditation is a practice, not a perfection. There will be days when it feels challenging, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep returning to your practice, gently guiding your mind back to the present moment each time it wanders. As you progress in your meditation journey, you'll find that stress no longer controls you. Instead, you gain the ability to respond to life's challenges with clarity and calmness. This transformation empowers you to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. Meditation also strengthens your connection to others. By cultivating inner peace, you become more patient and understanding, enhancing your relationships and creating a supportive environment around you. In times of high stress, meditation serves as a refuge. It provides a safe space where you can retreat, recharge, and regain your composure. This practice ensures that you remain resilient, no matter what external circumstances arise. Buddhism teaches that the mind is the source of our experience. By training the mind through meditation, you can transform your reality, turning stress into serenity and chaos into calmness. Through consistent practice, meditation becomes a natural part of your life. It's not something you do occasionally, but a way of being that supports your journey towards lasting peace and positivity. As you embrace meditation, you also embrace a deeper understanding of yourself. This self-knowledge allows you to navigate life's complexities with confidence and grace, reducing stress and enhancing your overall well-being. In conclusion, meditation is a powerful tool for overcoming stress. It offers a path to inner peace, helping you stay calm and positive amidst life's inevitable challenges. By dedicating time each day to this practice, you cultivate a resilient and serene mind, capable of facing anything that comes your way. Continue your journey with meditation and discover the profound impact it can have on your life. Embrace the calm, nurture your positivity, and let meditation guide you to a more peaceful and fulfilling existence. Creating a positive environment around you. A Zen master sits quietly beneath a blooming cherry tree, the petals gently falling around him. He begins to speak, his voice calm and soothing. In our journey to stay calm and positive, the environment around us plays a crucial role. Have you ever noticed how a cluttered space can make your mind feel cluttered too? Or how being around negative people can drain your energy? Creating a positive environment is like tending to a beautiful garden. It requires care, attention, and mindfulness. Imagine waking up in a room filled with natural light and fresh air. The space is organized, with plants adding a touch of nature. This kind of environment can uplift your spirits and set a positive tone for the day. When your surroundings are clean and harmonious, your mind can relax and focus better. In Buddhism, the concept of mindfulness extends to our environment. Being mindful of where we spend our time and who we spend it with helps us maintain inner peace. It's about choosing spaces and people that support our well-being and growth. Start by decluttering your living and working spaces. Remove items that no longer serve you or bring you joy. A tidy space can lead to a tidy mind, allowing you to think more clearly and feel more at ease. Bring elements of nature into your environment. Plants, flowers, and natural materials can create a calming atmosphere. They remind us of the beauty and simplicity of the natural world, helping us stay grounded and connected. Choose colors that promote tranquility and positivity. Soft hues like blues, greens, and pastels can create a peaceful ambience. These colors can influence your mood, making you feel more relaxed and content. Create a dedicated space for meditation or reflection. This area should be free from distractions and filled with items that inspire peace, such as candles, incense, or meaningful symbols. A sacred space encourages regular practice and deepens your connection to your inner self. Surround yourself with positive affirmations and inspirational quotes. Words have power, and seeing encouraging messages daily can uplift your spirit and reinforce your commitment to a positive mindset. Be mindful of the media you consume. Choose books, music, and shows that inspire and uplift you. Avoid negative news or content that brings unnecessary stress. What you allow into your mind shapes your thoughts and emotions. Foster positive relationships by surrounding yourself with supportive and kind individuals. Engage with people who encourage your growth and share your values. Positive interactions can enhance your happiness and reduce stress. Limit your exposure to negativity. This might mean setting boundaries with people who drain your energy or avoiding environments that foster negativity. Protecting your peace is essential for maintaining a positive outlook. Practice gratitude by creating a gratitude corner in your space. Display items that remind you of what you're thankful for, such as photos, souvenirs, or meaningful objects. Regularly acknowledging your blessings cultivates a positive mindset. Use lighting to enhance your environment. Natural light is ideal, but soft. Warm lighting can also create a cozy and inviting atmosphere. Proper lighting can improve your mood and energy levels. Integrate calming scents into your environment with essential oils or incense. Scents like lavender, sandalwood, and jasmine can promote relaxation and create a soothing atmosphere. Keep your space organized with designated places for your belongings. An organized environment reduces stress and helps you feel more in control. It also makes it easier to find what you need, saving time and energy. Incorporate art and creativity into your surroundings. Beautiful artwork, whether it's paintings, sculptures, or handmade crafts, can inspire and uplift you. Creativity adds vibrancy and joy to your environment. Create routines that reinforce a positive environment. Simple habits like making your bed each morning, tidying up before bed, or taking regular breaks can maintain order and promote a sense of well-being. Engage all your senses to create a harmonious space. Listen to calming music, feel soft fabrics, and enjoy the visual beauty around you. A multi-sensory environment can enhance your overall sense of peace and positivity. Be intentional about the energy you bring into your space. Approach your environment with love and care, treating it as a reflection of your inner state. Positive intentions can transform any space into a sanctuary. Reflect on your environment regularly. Take time to assess what's working and what needs change. Being proactive in maintaining a positive space ensures it continues to support your well-being. Remember, creating a positive environment is an ongoing practice. It requires mindfulness, intention, and consistent effort. By nurturing your surroundings, you nurture your mind, leading to a more calm and positive life. The Zen master smiles gently, the cherry blossoms continuing to fall around him, symbolizing the beauty and impermanence of life. May your environment be a source of peace and positivity, guiding you on your path to inner calm. Balancing desires and contentment. In our journey through life, desires often play a significant role. They can motivate us, drive us to achieve our goals, and help us grow. But what happens when desires become overwhelming? How do we find a balance between pursuing what we want and being content with what we have? This is where the wisdom of Buddhism offers profound insights. Imagine a river flowing smoothly. Along its banks, various trees grow, each reaching towards the sky. The river provides water to the trees, nurturing them. However, if the river overflows, it can cause chaos, damaging the very trees it sustains. Similarly, our desires, when balanced, can nourish our lives, but when left unchecked, they can lead to turmoil. Buddhism teaches us that desires are natural, but it's essential to understand their nature. Not all desires are harmful. Some desires, like the wish to help others or to learn and grow, can lead to positive outcomes. However, excessive or materialistic desires can create a constant sense of longing and dissatisfaction. One of the key teachings in Buddhism is the concept of the middle way. This principle encourages us to avoid the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. Instead, it guides us to find a balanced path that fosters harmony and well-being. Applying the middle way to our desires means recognizing when our wants are leading us astray and when they are aligned with our true values and purpose. Contentment doesn't mean suppressing our desires or giving up on our dreams. It means finding satisfaction in the present moment while still striving for growth. It's about appreciating what we have while acknowledging our aspirations. This balance allows us to pursue our goals without becoming attached to specific outcomes, reducing anxiety and promoting inner peace. Mindfulness is a powerful tool in achieving this balance. By being present and fully aware of our thoughts and feelings, we can observe our desires without being overwhelmed by them. Mindfulness helps us discern between healthy aspirations in destructive cravings. When we recognize the difference, we can make conscious choices that align with our well-being. Let's consider a gardener tending to plants. The gardener desires each plant to grow, but understands that forcing growth can harm the plants. Instead, the gardener provides the right amount of water, sunlight, and care, allowing the plants to flourish naturally. Similarly, we must nurture our desires with care, providing them the space to grow without letting them dominate our lives. Another aspect to consider is the impermanent nature of all things. Buddhism teaches that everything is transient, including our desires and the satisfaction they bring. By understanding impermanence, we learn to let go of attachments and find peace in the flow of life. This perspective helps us embrace change and reduces the suffering caused by clinging to fleeting desires. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in balancing desires and contentment. By regularly reflecting on what we are thankful for, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. Gratitude cultivates a positive mindset, making it easier to appreciate the present and lessen the grip of excessive desires. It's important to remember that balance is a continuous practice. Life is dynamic, and our desires can shift over time. Regular self-reflection and mindfulness practices can help us stay attuned to our needs and maintain equilibrium. When we feel our desires becoming overwhelming, taking a step back to assess and realign can restore harmony. Let us also explore the idea of non-attachment. Non-attachment doesn't mean indifference. Rather, it signifies a healthy relationship with our desires. It allows us to pursue our goals with passion while maintaining a sense of detachment from the outcomes. This approach fosters resilience, as we remain steadfast even when things don't go as planned. In the teachings of the Buddha, the Eightfold Path provides a comprehensive guide to living a balanced and fulfilling life. Right understanding and right intentions encourage us to align our desires with ethical and meaningful purposes. By following this path, we cultivate desires that contribute to our growth and the well-being of others. Community and support systems also play a vital role in maintaining balance. Sharing our journey with others who understand and support our goals can provide encouragement and perspective. Together, we can celebrate our achievements and navigate challenges, fostering a sense of connection and mutual growth. As we continue to balance our desires and cultivate contentment, we build a foundation for lasting peace and happiness. This balance allows us to enjoy the journey of life, appreciating each moment while striving for meaningful progress. By integrating these Buddhist principles into our daily lives, we create a harmonious existence filled with calmness and positivity. In conclusion, balancing desires and contentment is not about eliminating our wants, but about managing them wisely. It's about finding harmony between ambition and satisfaction, ensuring that our desires serve as a source of growth rather than a cause of distress. Through mindfulness, gratitude, and the middle way, we can achieve a state of balance that enriches our lives and fosters enduring peace. Let us embrace this balance, allowing our desires to guide us thoughtfully while remaining content with the present. In doing so, we honor the teachings of Buddhism and pave the way for a life filled with calmness, positivity, and true fulfillment. Conclusion: sustaining calmness and positivity for life. The journey to maintaining calmness and positivity is ongoing, much like the gentle flow of a river. Throughout this series, we've explored various aspects of Buddhist teachings that help us cultivate a peaceful and positive mindset. Now, as we reach the final part, it's essential to understand how to sustain these qualities in our daily lives. Imagine waking up each morning with a clear mind, free from the burdens of yesterday's worries and the anxieties of tomorrow's uncertainties. This is the essence of sustaining calmness and positivity. It's not about a one-time achievement, but a continuous practice that enriches our lives over time. One fundamental principle is mindfulness. By staying present, we anchor ourselves in the current moment, preventing our minds from drifting into negativity or excessive optimism. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating a space where true calmness can flourish. Another vital aspect is compassion, both towards ourselves and others. When we practice self-compassion, we acknowledge our imperfections and treat ourselves with kindness. This inner kindness extends outward, fostering positive relationships and a supportive environment. Compassionate interactions reduce stress and enhance our sense of well-being. Incorporating meditation into our daily routine is a powerful tool for sustaining positivity. Meditation trains our minds to remain focused and calm, even amidst chaos. Regular practice strengthens our ability to respond to challenges with equanimity rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, meditation becomes a sanctuary where we can retreat and recharge. Gratitude is another cornerstone of a positive life. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating the good in our lives, we shift our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. This shift cultivates a mindset of abundance, reducing feelings of scarcity and fostering contentment. Gratitude journals or simple daily reflections can reinforce this positive perspective. Balancing our desires and contentment is crucial. Buddhism teaches us that attachment often leads to suffering. By recognizing and letting go of excessive desires, we create space for genuine happiness. Contentment doesn't mean complacency. It means being satisfied with what we have while still striving for growth and improvement. Creating a positive environment around us also plays a significant role. Our surroundings influence our mood and mindset. By organizing our spaces, surrounding ourselves with uplifting people, and engaging in activities that bring joy, we reinforce our commitment to a positive life. A harmonious environment supports our mental and emotional well-being. Understanding impermanence helps us navigate life's changes with grace. Everything in life is transient, and recognizing this truth prevents us from clinging to what no longer serves us. Embracing impermanence allows us to flow with life's rhythms, accepting both the highs and lows with a balanced heart. Physical well-being is intertwined with mental calmness and positivity. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient rest are essential for maintaining a healthy mind. When our bodies are cared for, our minds follow suit, enhancing our ability to stay calm and positive. Building resilience is another key factor. Life inevitably presents challenges, but resilience empowers us to bounce back stronger. By viewing obstacles as opportunities for growth, we transform adversity into a catalyst for personal development. Resilient individuals maintain their calmness and positivity even in the face of difficulties. Social connections contribute significantly to our sense of calm and positivity. Meaningful relationships provide support, understanding, and joy. By nurturing these connections, we create a network that uplifts us, helping us stay grounded and optimistic. Practicing forgiveness, both towards ourselves and others, releases us from the chains of past grievances. Holding on to anger or resentment weighs us down, hindering our ability to remain positive. Forgiveness liberates our hearts, fostering peace and enhancing our overall well-being. Lastly, setting intentions for continuous growth ensures that we remain committed to our journey. Regularly reflecting on our progress, setting new goals, and adapting our practices keep us aligned with our path towards sustained calmness and positivity. In conclusion, sustaining calmness and positivity is a harmonious blend of mindfulness, compassion, gratitude, and resilience. By integrating these principles into our daily lives, we create a foundation that supports our mental and emotional well-being. The teachings of Buddhism provide a timeless guide, offering practical tools to navigate life's complexities with grace and optimism. As we move forward, remember that this journey is personal and unique to each individual. Embrace the practices that resonate with you, and be patient with yourself as you grow. Calmness and positivity are not destinations but lifelong companions that enrich every moment of our existence. May you continue to find peace within, radiate positivity outward, and live a life filled with joy and serenity. The path you've walked through this series is just the beginning of a deeper, more fulfilling journey towards a harmonious and balanced life.